UFOs have fascinated humanity for decades, prompting questions about the possibility of extraterrestrial life and the mysteries of our universe. In our previous video, we explored the fascinating UFO sightings from 1940 to 1970, a period marked by some of the most iconic and mysterious encounters. Now, let's dive into the next chapter, examining the significant UFO sightings from 1970 to 2000, a time of heightened encounters and increased scrutiny. The 1970s, a decade of discovery. Number 1. The Great Michigan UFO Chase, 1970. On March 14, 1970, Washtenaw County, Michigan, witnessed a highly publicized UFO chase involving multiple police officers. The officers reported seeing a bright, disc-shaped object that changed colors and speed. They pursued the object for over an hour, covering several counties. Despite extensive media coverage and public interest, no satisfactory explanation was provided, leaving the incident shrouded in mystery. Number 2. The Pascagoula Abduction, 1973. One of the most famous UFO cases of the 1970s occurred in Pascagoula, Mississippi. On October 11, 1973, Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker reported being abducted by humanoid creatures while fishing.
These blue hazy lights was reflected from behind, so that's about the time I stood up and looked behind to see what it was, what really was back there. And it was 3 bulky-looking creatures.
They described being levitated into a craft, examined by the beings, and then returned to their original location.
This thing carried me to the steps of the craft, and she took her right hand and the 2 middle fingers on that. She started running down my throat. Well, I got to choking, and I was having a hard time breathing. Well, she took out her fingers and just kind of stood there and kind of looked at me. Now, she didn't say nothing, but mentally I felt like she said, "We're not going to harm you."
Their detailed accounts, along with their visibly shaken state, lent credibility to their story, sparking widespread media coverage and public intrigue.
The alien story is just small. I want people to know that I love my family. I love life. It's been simple, but I think that why the government don't release what they know, or if they know anything, I don't know.
Number 3. The Travis Walton Abduction, 1975. The Travis Walton abduction case is one of the most famous and controversial UFO incidents. On November 5, 1975, while working with a logging crew in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest in Arizona, Walton disappeared after approaching a hovering disc-shaped object. His coworkers reported seeing the object, and Walton being struck by a beam of light before vanishing.
When I regained consciousness, it wasn't real quick. It wasn't real walking right up. It was real slow. It was dim. My consciousness was kind of like in and out for a while. I didn't know where I was. Something was so wrong inside. I felt like I was dying.
Walton reappeared 5 days later, with a harrowing account of being taken aboard the craft and examined by non-human entities.
I was lying on my back on a raised table. There was a light above me. I felt really weak. I didn't have enough strength to do much. So they came around the table, and the 3 of them were coming towards me. And I just grabbed something from behind me, an object. I was looking at them and swinging wildly, screaming threats. They stopped, and I was planning on attacking more fully, just making way past them. The only doorway I could see was on the other side of them.
The case gained widespread attention and remains a focal point of UFO abduction lore.
That was the most terrifying experience of my life. The fact that I was returned at all is pretty significant, you know?
Yeah.
Number 4. The Tehran UFO Incident, 1976. On September 19, 1976, a highly documented UFO encounter occurred in Tehran, Iran. Multiple witnesses, including military personnel and radar operators, observed a bright object in the sky. Fighter jets were scrambled to intercept the object, but their instrumentation malfunctioned when they approached it. The pilots reported seeing a large, bright light that evaded them with incredible speed and agility. This incident remains one of the most well-documented and credible UFO sightings in history. Number 5. The Valentich Disappearance, 1978. Frederick Valentich, a 20-year-old pilot, vanished while flying over the Bass Strait in Australia on October 21, 1978. Before disappearing, Valentich radioed Melbourne Air Traffic Control, reporting that a large, unidentified craft was hovering above him and interfering with his plane's engine. His final transmission described the object as not an aircraft. Despite extensive searches, neither Valentich nor his plane was ever found, fueling speculation about a UFO encounter. The 1980s, heightened encounters and government involvement. Number 6. The Cash Landrum Incident, 1980. On December 29, 1980, Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Colby Landrum encountered a large, diamond-shaped object emitting intense heat and light near Dayton, Texas. The object was surrounded by military helicopters. The witnesses suffered severe radiation-like symptoms following the encounter, leading to a lawsuit against the U.S. government, which was ultimately dismissed. The case is notable for its physical evidence and the health effects experienced by the witnesses. Number 7. The Rendlesham Forest Incident, 1980. One of the most famous UFO cases in the UK occurred in December 1980, near RAF Woodbridge in Rendlesham Forest, Suffolk. U.S. Air Force personnel reported seeing strange lights descending into the forest. Upon investigation, they encountered a triangular craft with hieroglyphic-like symbols. The incident was documented in official U.S. Air Force reports and has been referred to as Britain's Roswell. Despite government investigations, the true nature of the sighting remains unexplained. Number 8. The Japan Airlines Flight 1628 Incident, 1986. On November 17, 1986, Japan Airlines Flight 1628 encountered 3 unidentified objects while flying over Alaska. Captain Kenju Terauchi, an experienced pilot, reported seeing 2 small objects and 1 large mothership-like craft. The objects followed the plane for approximately 50 minutes, with radar confirmation from both the aircraft and ground control. This encounter received significant attention from both the media and the aviation community, prompting further investigation by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. Number 9. The Gulf Breeze Sightings, 1987. The Gulf Breeze sightings began in November 1987 when Ed Walters, a resident of Gulf Breeze, Florida, reported multiple encounters with UFOs, capturing several photographs of the objects. Walters' photos and accounts drew significant attention and sparked a wave of sightings in the area. Skeptics later questioned the authenticity of the photographs, but Walters maintained his story, and the sightings contributed to the UFO lore of the 1980s. Number 10. The Belgian UFO Wave, 1989. From late 1989 to early 1990, Belgium experienced a wave of UFO sightings with hundreds of reports from civilians, police officers, and military personnel. The sightings typically described large, triangular craft with bright lights. The Belgian Air Force scrambled F-16 fighter jets to intercept the objects, and radar confirmed their presence. The Belgian government's open approach to investigating these sightings was praised, but no definitive conclusions were reached. The 1990s. Increasing public awareness and skepticism. Number 11. The Greifswald Lights, 1990. On August 24, 1990, in Greifswald, East Germany, multiple witnesses, including fishermen and local residents, observed a series of bright lights in the sky, arranged in a circular formation. The lights hovered for over 30 minutes before disappearing. The incident was captured on video and remains unexplained, with various theories suggesting military exercises or atmospheric phenomena. Number 12. The STS-48 incident, 1991. During the Space Shuttle Discovery's STS-48 mission in September 1991, a live NASA feed captured footage of unidentified objects maneuvering near the shuttle. The objects appeared to change direction and speed rapidly, leading to speculation about their extraterrestrial origin. NASA explained the phenomena as ice particles reacting to the shuttle's thrusters, but the incident remains a topic of debate among UFO enthusiasts and skeptics. Number 13. The Ariel School Encounter, 1994. On September 16, 1994, 62 students at Ariel School in Ruwa, Zimbabwe, reported seeing a silver craft land near their playground. They described humanoid beings with large eyes exiting the craft and communicating with them telepathically. The children's consistent and detailed accounts, along with the involvement of reputable investigators like Dr. John Mack, a Harvard psychiatrist, made this one of the most compelling UFO encounters of the decade. Number 14. The Varginha Incident, 1996. The Varginha Incident, often referred to as Brazil's Roswell, occurred on January 20, 1996 in Varginha, Brazil. Local residents reported seeing a crashed UFO and strange humanoid creatures in the area. The Brazilian military allegedly recovered the craft and creatures, leading to widespread speculation and conspiracy theories. Despite official denials, the incident remains one of the most compelling UFO cases in South America. Number 15. The Phoenix Lights, 1997. One of the most widely witnessed UFO events occurred on March 13, 1997, in Phoenix, Arizona. Thousands of residents reported seeing a massive V-shaped formation of lights moving silently across the sky. The sightings were captured on video and received extensive media coverage. The U.S. military later claimed that the lights were flares dropped during a training exercise, but many witnesses remain convinced they saw something extraordinary. The surge in UFO sightings from 1970 to 2000 significantly impacted society and culture. These incidents fueled public interest in extraterrestrial life and the possibility of government cover-ups. Popular media, including movies, TV shows, and books, often depicted UFO encounters, further embedding the phenomenon into popular culture. Throughout this period, government and military responses to UFO sightings varied. Some countries, like Belgium and the UK, conducted open investigations, while others, like the US, were more secretive. Documents released through the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, revealed that the US government took UFO reports seriously and conducted investigations, despite public denials. As we move into the 21st century, the quest to understand UFOs and their implications for humanity persists. New sightings, technological advancements, and ongoing investigations keep the mystery alive, ensuring that the phenomenon remains a subject of intrigue and debate for years to come. Whether these sightings are the result of extraterrestrial visitors, advanced human technology, or natural phenomena, the search for answers continues to push the boundaries of our understanding of the universe.